Imagine, if you will, water gently enfolding your body from behind, like a tender embrace that leaves your front wide open to the world. This water is no ordinary water. It is a reflection of your emotions. Its texture, color, and movement shifting in perfect harmony with your feelings. As you breathe, you sense the water's fluid presence pressing against you from behind, a force that is both soothing and empowering.
It moves with purpose, like a river that knows exactly where to guide you. This water doesn't just touch you, it invokes strength within you, filling you with an energy that rises from deep within. The sensation is invigorating, like an ancient force of nature flowing through you, its current imbuing you with unshakable confidence and resilience. The water surges upward, wrapping around your body, almost as if it is lifting you to new heights, infusing you with a sense of purpose, clarity, and unyielding potential.
The beauty of this water lies in its adaptability. It changes its shape and appearance, flowing and shifting with the ebb and flow of your emotional landscape. If you feel calm and peaceful, the water might shimmer with soft, translucent hues, flowing gently like a tranquil stream. When you feel determined, it may take on a bold, vibrant color, surging with power like a mighty waterfall. The water mirrors your inner world, guiding you through each wave of emotion, supporting and encouraging you as you face every challenge.
Now, if you will, feel the emotional waters enveloping you, cool, fluid, and alive with shifting colors that mirror your inner state.
The core gift. You.
Imagine your essence, your purest self, as a luminous gift, suspended in water. A silver umbilical cord spirals from your core, connecting you to three vital components. Whisper, I am the irreplaceable gift. My presence is my power. Feel warmth radiating from within.
Now, drift deeper. Beneath the waters, your silhouette glows with nebular light. Within it, a door pulses, beckoning you into the grand library. Step inside. At the center, a tree of light grows, roots deep in indigo water, branches cradling constellations. This is the root stone, where ancestors gather as luminous silhouettes. Their hands trace stories onto floating clay tablets that dissolve into stardust when complete. You hear whispers in Ika dialect. Obubla ebetina aga, anyetina aga. Wherever you go, we go.
Breathe. Feel the water, flame, and circuitry fuse within you. The gift glows brighter. Whisper, I invest in myself daily. Slowly open your eyes. Carry this wholeness into the world. Close, warrior.
Affirm, I am the unwrapped gift, ever evolving, ever whole.
You are the gift. Unwrap yourself relentlessly.
Yo, yo, yo. What's going on, y'all? Name is Abel, and today we are going to be working on a project. And this project is going to be an animation. So I'm currently attending Santa Monica College as a student. Right now I'm focused on like completing all of my general ed classes and stuff like that. But I have the opportunity to create and initiate a therapy session for the students within the Black Allegiance program. Shout out to the Black Allegiance program. They are pretty much like the plug on campus. Special thanks to all the counselors there. But today I had proposed an animation as like an intro for the event. And so today we're pretty much going to be brainstorming some ideas for the animation and leveraging like different tools because, you know, AI is out there. And I'm gonna get into that a little bit because, you know, I think using AI for the tedious work, but not the initial idea, as the direction that I want to go into. So I pretty much have like the initial storyboards right here. Y'all probably not gonna be able to see it, but I'm going to sketch these out and we're gonna go into the initial phases or phase of like turning this idea into an animation. Um, I have not animated in quite a while now, and so this is going to be a very interesting experience that I wanted to share with you guys. Because one of the things that I want to do is I'm stepping outside of this hiding of who I am. I feel like in the world, a lot of us hide who we truly are because we're trying to fit into a system in order to survive, essentially. And to be honest, it's a struggle. It's a fight. It's a fight till the day that you are no longer here. But there are things that we can do that allow us to express ourselves and make room for who we truly are, right? Because we still got to do things like go to work and maintain certain social quotas so we can essentially survive with the cards that we're given. But it's important to have outlets that allow us to really, express who we are. And so that's what this streaming channel is essentially, right? Like we get on here, we game, we do some art, and, we just have a good time. And so with that said, going into the animation, from what I remember when I used to animate a lot, right? It's very important to have like the idea. Have the idea first and write it down. And so essentially what I see this animation as is like starting off with like a bunch of noise, because when a little more background on this event, I've been connected with a Black therapist. And so I wanted to give other students on campus, specifically, Black and brown students, the opportunity to sit down and talk about like mental health, right? Because like I'm very passionate about healing. I love helping people. I love art, technology, and what better way to infuse all those into one thing than to have a project that like merges those things together. And so essentially the event is we're going to have a Black therapist come in and we're going to do like a sit down in very informal talk, right? Like almost like a village check-in, right? Where we'd all just huddle, circle, sit down together and just like have a conversation, like I feel like a lot of things we do, we don't interact a lot. We're always on the go. We're always having to do something. And the time to really engage and just like have one-on-one like human engagement is it's very rare to find honest engagement. And so like I wanted to create a space that allowed other students on campus to realize the benefits of therapy, right? Like for me personally, like I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. Like I grew up in some very difficult times, like I grew up with parent divorce, and not really having a lot of access to resources that really allowed me to like be mobile growing up, or even just information. And so I grew up sheltered, naive and giddy. And so as I got older and I got into the world and experienced genuine people, I realized the importance of human connection and also working through your own difficulties. Like, for example, like I have a fear of success and a fear of failure. It's a contradiction, but these things exist inside of us. And when we don't work on them, then every single time you go into a new relationship, you don't realize how that is like programming you in the background to act out in certain ways that sometimes hurts other people. And one thing I realize is that when you're talking to people who are healed and are on their healing journey further than you, most people are not going to like accept or just let those unhealthy tendencies to like slide. They catch them early. because when they were in that space, they had to do the same thing. Like, for example, if you're not good at setting boundaries, like myself, sometimes, like a lot of times, like you catch yourself having to say no more of the times, right? So when you're around other people, you're less likely to just say yes to things you know you can't do. And so therapy is an outlet aside from art and drawing and swordsmanship, having some discipline and practice that has helped me like work on my insecurities and work on my fears and heal that inner child within me, right? Like little Abel, whoever that is for you. And so essentially, like, this event is going to help other um, students of color, black and brown folks, to really interact with a black therapist, someone who looks like them, in order to hopefully, which is what I'm hoping for, to see the beauty in being able to talk about the things that, we usually don't like to talk about, especially within the black community. Like, therapy is now more open, but back then, like, you didn't talk about your problems. You kind of just like sucked it up, held it all in, and you just went along life without realizing how that is more damaging than letting it out. And so now that y'all have some more background information on what the event's really going to be like, the idea for this animation is to create an intro to that event for I guess publishing or public purpose. I don't remember the name. What is it? Not entertainment. Man, it's a certain word I'm looking for. Advertising, right? Basically like advertising, right? But also as a way for me to infuse my gifts into this event. And so essentially, like, the idea that I have for this is I want the animation to kind of like start off with this like a bunch of noise, and I want to show different types of students going through their daily lives. And so I was thinking of like having a scene where a student is at home late night, they're studying, they're getting their crunch hours in, because let's be honest, bro, when we in college, we are still working on time management. A lot of us be waiting to the last minute to do certain things, myself included. And so sometimes we be up late getting work done. Because sometimes, man, we just like to enjoy ourselves first. So I wanted to capture that as like a scene. And then another scene could show like a student at work. So I was thinking like maybe a grocery store or something. And then another student going to school. And then that will be like the first scene. And then the second scene would essentially be like the next step to that scene. So this is kind of where we get this like overstimulation. So I was thinking of bringing in like a bunch of like noise, different sound effects of people talking. You'd hear like the crowd noise like rise to evoke that like that emotion of being overwhelmed, right? Because initially growing up, especially in your college years or in your 20s, because I'm in my 20s, like, technically I'd be 14 based on the Ethiopian calendar. That's a whole nother story. But life can be very overwhelming, and it can awaken a lot of insecurities and things that we're afraid to face. And so essentially I'd pretty much draw that or animate that in the film. And then like once you see like this like stress kind of sinking into the character, then there would be like a portal that appears, and there would be like a person that reaches out to grab that the student's hand to evoke like, hey, we're here to help you out. And so they grab them, they bring him in the portal, and then they would land in front of Santa Monica College Black Collegians program group building with like 3 or 4 black therapists like standing in front. And so then you see the scene transition into the students getting ready to walk in. And when they walk in, it kind of transitions to that like round circle talk with everyone sitting there. And then it probably transitioned back into like, I don't know, a Black Collegians logo or something like that. So the initial idea, that's the initial idea right there. And so first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sketch this out. I'm gonna basically sketch what I already have, and then I'm gonna put it put basically work through the process, because like I really just want to show the process of like what it looks like. You know what I mean? Because one thing that I'm trying to work on is like just showing my gifts, showing what like I like to do, and we have a good time, and that's pretty much it, right? Because like I feel like we need to bring back art, like really bring art back. Nowadays art is so based on like engagement, but like when has art really represented how we feel? When have us people as artists like really just drawn some stuff because we just felt a certain way and we just needed to express it? We don't do that a lot anymore, so I want to start really introducing that back, and this would be like my form of resistance in a system that is set up in a way based on profits and just attention and engagement and money and speed and flashy stuff, you know, like now, like I really want to create something more meaningful. So I'm gonna bring y'all along the journey. We gonna have some fun. Y'all gonna see some cool stuff. We gonna experiment with some stuff, and we gonna go from there. So without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and put on some music, because I always like to set the tone of the environment, whether it's digitally or in my actual like space, before I get ready to create, because the music helps me tap into that certain emotion that I just need to like express or draw that thing that I need to draw. So since this is about healing and not this video, but since this is about healing, excuse me, since this is about healing, um I'm feeling like something chill. Something chill. I might throw on some Danny Sogan. It depends. I really just want to see if you were healing. Yo, Chantress. I might throw in some Chantress. She's a really dope black creator. She goes around making these. Let me just put her on at this point. I'm just gonna put this on. But I don't want to just put on any type of song she got going on. It's a certain one I'm looking for. Whispers of the Ocean. I feel like because we're working with like healing and stuff, like something like fire and water, because like fire and water energy kind of thing. Um, Especially because like my dad, or my heritage is Nigerian, so I'm a Nigerian American, so I'll be like part Igbo. And one of the things I've been learning is about how they look at the elements, and so I want some. Ooh, classic. This was one of the first songs I heard. You know what I mean? Maybe that's too low. There we go. That's probably much better. All right, so I think the title for this project, we're going to call this I'm just going to call it Project Heal. Maybe like self Umoja, maybe. I'm gonna call it Umoja. I know that's the Swahili word for unity, but it kind of fits because at my school, the Black Allegiance program is also under the umbrella, not company, organization of Umoja. So I'm gonna just call it that. And then we're gonna keep the same presets. What's the template? I haven't used that before. Nope. We're gonna leave it on pixels. Okay, so first thing I always like to do is it's important to capture the idea first. Since I already have the initial idea, I want to like get a mood board, something that like represents family. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to Pinterest. We kind of just gonna scroll through here and see what we find. That's dope. Essentially what I'm looking for is something that like can represent community. Or like soul searching or community healing art. This is kind of nice. I like this. All right, I'm gonna. Here we go. Ooh, this is nice. I liked it because it shows like teaching in some shape and form. I also like this one and this one. I like this one because it shows the ancestral, but also like almost like a higher self or like who you are. It's like her aura. Like you can see this character young, but you also see another behind her almost as if she's older, kind of like reflecting who she's always been and who she's becoming. And that's why I like this one. And this, not that one, this one. It's pretty much, it's kind of like the same thing. Like it's always in you. Like it's in who you are. I kind of like this for the rap reference. And I like this because it really, what I'm seeing from this is like It's like discovering, it's like tapping into your own like internal world and discovering that light through the darkness. Like soul searching. Like therapy is a lot like soul searching. Mm, what is this? This is interesting. Usually when I'm looking for mood boards, like, or like I'm looking to create mood boards for like creative inspiration, I love to just be curious, like just embrace curiosity, like really let your imagination run wild. So if you see something that catches your attention, open it, look at it, see if it represents that kind of vibe. If it don't, throw it to the side. This is nice, but this is not what I'm looking for. Ooh, these are all really dope. Hold on, I'm gonna have to save this. Save to not character art. Hair inspiration. There we go. Same thing with this one. Same thing with this one. Same thing with this one. This is dope. Same thing with this one. This is more like character, but I'll put hair inspiration because why not? Ooh, this is nice. Hold up. I like this. It literally shows like her growing up, adolescent, young adult, womanhood, elderhood. I love that. Where's the character art? I just had it on here. Here we go. I always like saving stuff like this because you never know like when you gotta go back to uh things like this or like for reference and stuff. It's always good to get reference. This is dope for hair reference. I think I should already have, and I don't. Hair inspiration. Ooh, this is dope. All right, now before I get sidetracked, let me go back to what I was looking for. We'll save that. Not what I was looking for. I like this.
What's this right here? What did you design?
This is a project that I'm working on for my not for my school, but I was able to like create this event or initiate this event where somewhere in like February is black therapist that I connected to when I was at Ralph's. I asked her if she would like to like speak at the school and like talk to some of the students because like I wanted to advocate for like more of us going to therapy and like really like healing like our insecurities and trauma and stuff. And so she said yes. And so while we did a meeting yesterday when I was on my way to school, I asked the program leader if like I could do an animation to kind of like introduce what the event's going to be about. And so I'm just like designing the initial steps or like what it's going to look like. So I'm putting together like a mood board for it, like how I kind of want it to look like and stuff, you know, just tap back into my creativity.
What's up? And this is
That's the, what do you call that? Storyboard I did when I was at work. And bro, all this is dope, but this is not what I'm looking for. Okay, I like how this looks because, okay, this one, I like how this looks because it literally showcases or symbol, or like it's like communicating symbolic meaning of like, bro, why is this music doing that? Why is the music doing that? There we go. Bro, what is happening? All right, we not gonna keep doing this. That's gonna mess up the whole vibe. There we go. Make that smaller. I think the main 3 ones. I wonder why things doing this. Hold on, y'all. I don't know why the music is going in and out like that. But I don't like it. You go to history. And then there we go. So now I'm gonna start organizing the reference thing. I like this, but this isn't the focus. I like it because it's showing mentorship. This one's like soul searching, but this one's different because this one showcases like the power of community and how it takes all of us to create and craft a much more livable world. So I'm gonna put that there. And then I'm gonna put this under it. So these are like the main 3 ideas for the mood board. And now for the most fun part, deciding what type of style that I want the animation to kind of like take place. So I'm thinking some of my favorite anime growing up was by far things like Bleach, but I liked Bleach. Nah, I'm trying to think of the style. I think like Demon Slayer would be a good one. Let me see something. Demon Slayer anime. Their art style is nice. What is this thing doing? This thing just froze on me. I think it froze on me. I don't know what it's doing. There we go. think I still have a bunch of reference from, because when I was younger, I used to take so many. Ooh, this one needs to be in here. I got some art that'll represent it. Or, no, not that one. It's in here somewhere. I think it's in download folder. That's the video, but where's the actual art? I know I'm not tripping. I'm gonna find it. Nope. It's a video. Let me see. Never mind. That doesn't work. I'm just gonna screenshot it. I'm not even gonna waste my time. Bro, I still can't believe I don't have the photo. Never mind, I found it. There we go. Okay, now there we go. Okay, what I'm looking for is I think it's in recovery. It's not at that. It's not that. No. I think it's in backup maybe. No. No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. That's fine. We just search up scenes. trying to find some good reference. Somebody put him in there. This reminds me of the movie, which, by the way, dope. As you can tell, I really love Zenitsu. This character is super dope. But not what I'm looking for. Bro, my thing just... There we go. I think if I'm going to get some reference... Demon Slayer has a very particular style of art. And they did him dirty. They did that man dirty. I think I got the idea. Sometimes it's easier to see things when you can see the design process. Yep. This is really good reference because I can see the up close of the face. Let me remember why I got the reference from here anyway. Naruto's a classic. Ooh, My Hero Academia is also another good one for reference. I think I like Naruto's like realism and proportions and simplicity. Mm, trying to find something that looks a little bit less action filled. I know they got another character design, man. This is not bad. Mm, no. This dude's character design is by far one of the dopest I've seen. All right, I don't want to go too far into trying to get all the reference. I think that was good for My Hero Academia and then Demon Slayer because I really do enjoy the character designs from both of those anime. But there's one that I really do like, and it's called Welcome to the Ballroom anime. The character, when I tell you the animation and the character design in this is top notch. It's top notch, bruh. Like I just really enjoy and appreciate the like artwork the line art that they did in this, it's crazy. Oh, haiku. I almost forgot about that one. Like, just the attention to detail in this is crazy. Because everyone usually goes to like famous anime that got like a bunch of views, but man, some people don't be going to like some of the stuff that doesn't have all of those views on it, but is just as good. Trying to find something with like good anatomy. Like some still shots or something. Man, mood boards be taking probably the one of the longest parts in the animation process, because you want to make sure that whatever it is you get to represent the story actually represents. The eyes, man. It's how they draw the eyes in this one for me, yo. Ooh, this one's good. It's like sketchy. Dr. Stone's another good one too. Trying to find like scenes from the actual anime without playing the video. This is a good one. Mhm. This angle right here is crazy.
How are you doing? Oh, here we go. Then some of this stuff ain't even real. I know that is not real. I've never seen this character before. Some of this stuff is pretty dope, though. Probably use it as a reference. It's like some extra. Trying to get the artistic style. That's pretty dope. Especially this one. I like the art style in this. Ooh, no, this is dope. I don't know what this is from. I've been watching a lot of the Steve Harvey show. I ain't gonna lie, man. The low cuts is nice. Pretty dope. Just for the hair reference. That's a head wrap. Nevertheless, though, it does look dope. All right, back to the animation reference, though. This one goes over here. This is a pretty dope anime, but not what I'm looking for. What's another one? So we got, Dr. Stone. I wasn't finished with that one. I really enjoyed Dr. Stone because of how the composition in this anime was crazy. Like how they got the color, the eye, man, the way they did the eyes in this one was absolutely incredible. Put that one there. All right, that's a little too much Senku. All right, I know that's not a real scene. Somebody used AI for that one. Mm, there's got to be a better close up. Mm, this is good. Somewhat. Nah. I like this one because of how they draw the nose. Mm, I'm trying to find photos that like communicate better anatomy, not just like flat. Like this. There. Here we go. All right, I think that's it. I think I got one more thing of choice.
Some people would say lack thereof. Obviously, last year they ran the table in the American Conference. In the regular season and the tournament championship, they were a 5 seed and then got upset in the first round of Colorado State. Very good Colorado State. Tried 12 terrible draws. That would be a 2 seed. Parker adding to his impressive totals tonight, his second double of the season. Interestingly enough, when they were an 8 or 9 seed, just a great deal when he steps out. First time I should cap it off, 43 points, 11 of 19 from the field, 6-6. 2 turnovers. Kill off of this. I'll say 8 times. Second career, 20-point night for Desire Arts freshman for John Davis. If he can develop into that third scorer for them, again, Carlisle out, then Vanderpool's out, this all of a sudden becomes a much more dangerous FAU offense. Loose ball. Corral, good pass from Barry to Ingram. I think we're still out. Marcus tired. After the shot fake. Everybody ready.
Yu Hakusho. Pretty good.
Great motor. He's walking a ton of weight under his feet. He's really got, his body's going to get better and better at this level. It's been a night for Sincere Parker. Both teams have Parkers who've had outstanding nights, both turning in 20-point efforts. You're also seeing how dangerous that day when he played 3 weeks. Sincere 2 off his season high, and he's got the ball in his hands now. Trying for it. Can't get it. Gets his own miss. And now Mason Matthews chips in. That was a good drive. Mason Matthews, I'm like, yeah, God, you know I can do this, right? Just the second field goal of the season for Mason Matthews. I love Ingram down the brother side. I think he's good at physical force. Playing with great patience too. Hold your ground, just rise and throw down. And Marcus had a K. They go.
A lot of credit that they've made their Grand Slam almost as big. I don't think it is as big, but it all counts the same in the record books. But he's saying that because he's smart. He's down here. You say the right thing when you're down and under. You tell the odds. He's, oh God, I would trade in. I trade a Wimbledon. I trade a French. I don't think there's any chance there, but it doesn't matter at this point.
But if he can do both, then he's really got something special, right? If he can continue with he has all of these titles already. He's looking to complete the career slam. The question is, do you think that he can do it here this year?
Oh, he definitely can do it. If Roger Federer's in the tees saying that what he's about to do is one of the most incredible things he's seen, that that's saying something. I've watched all these guys. I've been around at 55 way too long. Of all the players I've ever seen, including Federer, Nadal, Djokovic, Carlos Alcaraz, at this point in his career, 22, is the most talented player, the most complete player, the most exciting player, the greatest personality I've ever seen on the tennis court.
Wow, the most complete, the most exciting, the best personality, those high compliments coming from you, and it also means it's going to be an extremely tall task here for Sasha Zverev in order to get past him. Now, looking at Zverev, of course, this is him last year. He's made it to the final before. This is when he lost to Yannick Sinner.
Yeah, I mean, he was devastated by this loss. He just saw the talent gap. Ultimately, when it really mattered, Sinner's one of the most talented players you'll ever see on the tennis court as well. Different style, different attitude, different personality. But Zverev, to me, didn't recover pretty much the rest of the year from this match.
Right, because he made 3 major finals in his career, including, of course, the 2024 French final where he lost to Alcaraz. But to your point, he was a little bit up and down last year. He played decently at the U.S. Open, but then he began to struggle. He dealt with some injuries after that. Now, Zverev feels like that's all behind him.
I think being pain-free is the biggest change that I've had in the last 12 months. As I said, it's a constant struggle when you're dealing with injuries, when you're dealing with certain pain and aches, and when you're feeling like you can't do every single move freely. It's just tiring also mentally for you, and then you maybe don't go for your shots as much. You maybe don't rely on your body as much. So that probably, but also I've worked on my game. I've worked from my aggressive game. I've been talking about it. I've worked on my first shots after the serve, my first forehand after the serve, maybe a bit more serve and volleying as well. And if those things work for me, then I think success will come as well.
So Sasha Zverev moments away from taking the court here. He said after his first time, the first time in a year here, John, and many people say he's the best men's player right now that hasn't won a slam. What gives you confidence that today could be his day?
First of all, you don't want to be known as the greatest player never to win a major. So that means you've had a very solid career, but not an incredible career. What he needs to do is exactly what he did 2 years ago when he beat Alcaraz here. He served out of a tree. He's one of the biggest servers in the history of the game. This guy, Malika, had been nipped 4 or 5 years ago. He was doubling more than his ace. So he's turned that around. He's still a way back. So Coco, if you're watching, you can still do it. Okay, there's plenty of time. He's got to serve absolutely huge. The other point you mentioned, which is totally true, is he got a call from Rafa after Wimbledon. He said, if you want to win a major, you got to be proactive, not reactive. He's a guy that plays defensive, wait for an undercut and miss. That's good enough to get him because he's super talented, moves great for 6'6", but not good enough to beat the big boy.
Yeah.
That's the problem. So he's got to change. He hasn't been willing yet. I did see signs the last couple of rounds of him doing that more, going for it more in the forehand. If he doesn't do that, forget it. He's got no chance. If he doesn't serve Hughes, not going to happen. Talent-wise, no question, Alcaraz is superior. Conditions suit Zverev for today. The court's hotter.
Yeah.
The ball's going to be jumping off that court. And also the other thing Alcaraz likes, he likes that kick serve out wide on the air court, which a lot of big points are played. He's 6'6", that shot. So we'll see what happens.
You gotta love though that he says that he feels like he is playing more aggressive because many have said that he needs to be the aggressor if he is going to be able to tango with a Yannick Sinner or today a Carlos Alcaraz. Then Matt said I owe you $2 for using your line. So here you go.
Wow. Can't believe I actually got paid for this. I'd be a billionaire.
If
everyone paid me what he owed me for that phrase it said. I didn't know like once in 15 years.
There you go. We're off to a good start here.
People still know who the hell I am.
At my first major alongside you. It's really cool. It's a little bit, no, that's your line, not mine. Go get ready for the match. You're on the call for this one alongside your brother. We're going to see you in just a little bit. Our second semifinals of the day. We got a young star chasing history versus the player who set the standard. We're going to get you set for Yannick Sinner and Novak Djokovic next.
Chewy pharmacy orders on beef Gouda. The good boy who's decided taking meds is matched only by his love of cheese. So mom pairs the meds Chewy delivers with the finest fromage. And thanks to Chewy's licensed pharmacists, mom knows these are quality meds for a quality boy. All Gouda knows is it's delicious. For quality meds at great prices, for life with pets, there's Chewy Pharmacy.
Get Ron. Ron eats, sleeps, and breathes poops. With our own nail software solution. You need Ron. Ron needs a retirement plan. Work with principals so we can help you with a plan that's right for Ron. With our expertise, and that yours. Where it's good people. Technology, am I right? Sponsor your dollar on Indeed and get matched with quality candidates when you need them most. Visit Indeed.com/hire now.
An unrivaled matchup adds a whole new chapter. And the blue shirts face Kansas hot in the Penguins, Avalanche Red Wings, Rangers Penguins. Saturday on ABC and ESPN app.
The men's semifinals tonight
Zverav's advanced networking and security solutions help turn businesses into logistics mastery, supply chain transform, seamless delivery stock, frictionless paying, Pokeball ordering, cybersecurity, mobile access granting, data managing. Welcome to the world of modern businesses. Powering the engine of modern business, Comcast Business.
I have traveled all over the world to 50 countries now, and I've never seen a production any better than this. And
Breathtaking. It is absolutely stunning.
so uplifting. I feel better about the world. It was encouraging. It me whole.
It's absolutely amazing so far.
That's what I was going to happen. You have to come see it.
Multiple times. Worth every time. Make sure you see it.
Streaming Boom returns to Big Los Angeles. Streaming.com.
You can tell that you're from streaming from the $5.99 LEXL burger that's double the meat on the Big Mac and less. Or you show you the new Cali XL. More meat, not more expensive. Only at Carl's Jr.
We don't hide behind asterisks, fine print. With Colored California, what you see is what you get. Healthcare that actually makes sense. Let's come to a plan together.
Welcome back to Melbourne. We're just over 20 minutes away from Carlos Alcaraz and Alexander Zverev facing off for a spot in the finals. And once again, the question is, can anyone stop what feels like the inevitable, the two-man tango between world number one Carlos Alcaraz and world number two Jannik Sinner, who have been on the collision course to meet once again. Men's tennis has been a two-horse race, with Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner standing above the rest. They've accounted for all 8 major titles dating back to 2024, each claiming 4 of the trophies. Alcaraz has outlasted Sinner in 10 of their 16 career meetings, but remarkably, they've won the exact same number of points in those matchups, knotted at 1,651 points apiece, giving new meaning to the expression evenly matched rivalry. And stakes are high in Melbourne. Is trying to pull off a three-peat at the Australian Open, while 22-year-old Alcaraz has his sights on completing the career Grand Slam to become the youngest man ever to accomplish the feat. Yet another Sinner-Alcaraz final could be staged as the new golden age of tennis continues down under. Alright, so the only problem with that is I get to speak in Guru. I would really like to see one. Alright, Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner, as you just heard, combined for the last 8 major titles. And it's starting to look a lot like the dominance that we saw from Novak Djokovic and Rafael Nadal. Roger Federer and Nadal before that. But hold on, wait a minute. Just because there's a new rivalry in town, that doesn't mean one of the greatest of all time isn't still a threat.
In the early part of your career when you were chasing Roger and Rafael title, and now at the back end you're chasing Jannik and Carlos.
I find it a little bit disrespectful that you kind of miss out on about 15-year period in between where I was dominating the Grand Slams. I don't feel like I'm chasing, I'm creating my own history. I was better right now than me and mostly and all other guys.
que trentusan traue que truntume sentri lama sentre le trumpana sentri
Meanwhile, Sasha Zverev has said he knows that in order to be in this, he needs to take care of that serve, Chris.
Yes, and that's what he did.
que tertusan trawe que truntume sentrilawa sentrele trumpana sentrilu true que trentusan traue que truntume sentri lama sentre le trompana sentri
Alrighty, so that is pretty much the storyboard for you. We're gonna have a student studying right here. Then we're gonna have a student working. What just happened? Just realized something's missing. I gotta fix that. I think I got deleted by accident. Wait, what just happened? There we go. So yeah, we're gonna have got a worker here, student studying, student walking to school, and then that student's gonna basically like the scene's gonna transition to them like being stressed out by like society pressures and stuff, and then have audio come in and support that. And then it's gonna be like an ancestral hand that's gonna say like, "Hey, I see you, child. Come with me." And then gonna be pulled into a portal, and then in that portal on the other side is going to introduce the Black Collegians door with the group and everything and all that. And then I'm just doing that. And then the doors go open, introduce like some super dope lights. Ooh, I think I might have to do something different. I think I'm gonna do with this one is it's gonna say some like healing, uh, like creating space. There we go. Creating space. Something coming out. This one's gonna say something like vulnerability, and then support, something like that. And then once that happens, then we're gonna see the counselors, right? We're gonna see like the therapist. This is gonna be like the head counselor and another counselor, and then it's gonna show the students from the front being shown so you can see their expressions, and then it's going to transition to them sitting in like a circle talking to each other, and that's pretty much what it's going to be like. Yeah. All right, y'all. Well, that's that. I'm gonna call it a wrap. That is a wrap for the project. Let me go ahead and make sure that everything's saved in the right folder, and I'm gonna pretty much call it out. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, and those that will tune in. See you on the next one. once I finish where I actually put all these drawings. It should be under. I'm gonna just rename this Umoja if it makes sense. Umoja. Yeah, there you go. Boom. All right, we gonna go out on something dope. Let me see what we got here. What do I have here? No, no, no. No.